Hello, hi, my name is Nahla Charaf. Some of you may know me as Jack and Jason's mom. Others may know me as the PEC treasurer, the lady who always talks about numbers at the AGM. But today I want to tell you a little story about how I came to know St. Matthew's and how I came here. So my story starts a little bit differently in that I started in Burnaby, and that's where I lived and that's where I was raised. And that's where I met Father Augustine, and at the time came to math at St. Matthew's, and it was great. It was such a nice place, but didn't think much of it just because it was in Surrey and I was in Burnaby. So, and after meeting Father Augustine, he told us about, St. Matthew's and that they were going to build this elementary school, and it was a bit of a pipe dream, I think, at the time. I wasn't really sure if it was going to be real, but when it came time to buy a house and think about a place to raise a family, we remembered his words that, oh wait, there might be an elementary school in that area. And so it became a place that we really wanted to base and really start out our family, and in the hopes that one day this school would be there. And then sure enough, a few years later, the school was built and it was ready, and it was just in time to send our kids to school. So it worked out really well. So we started at St. Matthew's in the preschool. That was the first class that we joined, and right away it was just such a vibrant community. It was amazing just walking in there, and I think the same way we felt going into St. Matthew's Parish, I think when my kids started at the school, I think it was the same feeling for them, that they felt that they were part of this community. They felt very welcomed, and we had some friends around at that point and got to meet some of the other families. And when I think back now, a lot of those same families stayed with us all the way through to grade 7 and still now to this day. So it was a really great starting point, and it became part of that community that we stayed together throughout the experience. So after both kids started in the school, Father Augustine actually asked to say, hey, we need somebody on the PEC. I think we need an accountant. Aren't you an accountant? So that's kind of how it started, and it seemed like just a simple thing at the beginning, but kind of came into it not really knowing what to expect, but the same kind of welcoming with that committee as well that I felt everywhere else in this school, and just so grateful to work with some of the pioneers, the people who had started the school and those who came before me, and just learned a lot from those first few years about what it takes to run this school and what kind of commitment it takes. And what was so great is we had such a diverse point of view. Everyone came from somewhere different. We had parishioners, we had people with business backgrounds, we had people with teaching backgrounds, and we had a bit of a mix of everyone. But at the end of the day, everyone came to that table with the same interest in mind, and it was really about how do we build St. Matthew's, how do we make this a great school, and just quickly got into that with everyone. And they say the best way to learn about an industry or a business is to really understand the accounting behind it. And it taught me a lot about what it takes to run a school, what kind of expenses it takes, how do we raise funds to help pay for things. So definitely learned a lot from being in that position, and definitely grateful for those around who taught me and who I learned from. And now having the benefit of having a few more people join the PEC and learning some new faces, and again, just the wealth of knowledge that they bring and the commitment that they bring to that committee. So besides just preparing financial statements and looking at financial records, part of the role of being on the PEC as the treasurer is being able to answer questions like, hey, can we afford to buy some books for the library? Where can we get funding for this element? If we wanted to build something else or add something to the school, how's the best way to go about that? What if we need to change our mix of teachers or staffing and all that? So definitely it's not just sitting back and kind of letting the numbers unfold, but it's also helping to inform the PEC and saying, here's the numbers, let's translate them into operations, and how does that help to make decisions, and where can they really draw that decision making? And so that was my job, is to help kind of translate, be the translator between the figures and the decision making. So when we came to St. Matthew's, the school was built, and so we had the benefit of entering the school already built, and so thankful for all of those people who were involved to make that happen, and it became a reality, and we got to start here. But I think it was after a few years of, we started as a small school, we only had a few grades at the beginning, and then just watching those grades come through. And I think every year that we were planning, especially when we did the budget, it was, let's add another class, and finally one year it was a full school. We had all 7 grades plus kindergarten, and now we felt like we had now become a full school. But we got to watch it grow along the way, which was really interesting. And now look at us, 10 years later, we've got a full school. We've got children graduating, more students coming in. So definitely has started off with a great foundation, and I know it's going to still continue to be in good hands going forward. When I look back and think of all the times and all the memories in between, I just think of all the teachers and the parents and the community and all the wonderful people from the parish that we met along the way. All the kids, all the families. It's just been an amazing place, and just have welcomed us as part of the community, have welcomed my kids as part of their own in the classrooms, and it's just been an amazing experience. So if I had to sum up St. Matthew's in one word, it would be home. And that was at the parish, that was at the school. It's everything that I felt here, just has always felt like home. This is my last year on the PEC, and I have to say, although I've been on it for 8 years, it feels a bit bittersweet that it's coming to an end. I've definitely enjoyed the time and the people that I got to spend it with, and I do feel like part of me helped to maybe build some of this school, or help it, even though the school was built, but maybe tried to put something back into that school as the years went on. So definitely grateful for that opportunity, and hope it definitely left something behind after I leave these walls. So I think back to that first day when we first entered here, and I look at some of the kindergarten kids walking around with their uniforms and just how small they were, and it really makes you remember how small we were when we started, and now to see how big the kids are, and now they're off to bigger things, but always will remember that time that we spent at St. Matthew's, and we came here to find a house and a home, and we ended up finding a family. So I just want to say thank you to everyone in the community and everyone around St. Matthew's that made this anniversary possible. Thanks for everyone for getting us here. Happy 10th anniversary, St. Matthew's.